lagging on your end, huh?
Yeah, quite badly.
Let me see from my end. It should be fine. Give it
Okay.
some time. Give it some time.
You try to
Okay.
zoom in the screen. No,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's the
like
page.
the page, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that one is clearer. Yes.
All right. Okay. Hi everyone. This is my first time having a live, so please be nice. I'm teacher Jia, and today I will be going through a composition practice for primary school, and right now over here we have it shown on the screen, so we're just gonna wait for more. You can hear that. We're just gonna wait for more people to come in, and then we are going to start going through the composition.
Then you can click on this one to the other page.
Ah,
So there's two more there.
okay. I'll try. Ah, that's nice. Thank you.
So we won't be going through the pictures this time, but you can roughly see that the vocab at the bottom, so you can take note of those. I will be going through the vocab words in a bit, and you can take a piece of paper or like a little scrapbook to write down some notes, or maybe take a screenshot later on. All right. I see around like 22 people, so I think let's just start. Yeah, so today we'll be going through this one. It's called Justice, and you can take a look at the words: swarmed with people, fresh greens, lively banter, stealthily ashen face. Hi Labubu Capybara. Yes, this is my first time going live. I'm new here, so please be nice. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll begin. I don't know if you guys can see. All right. So this is the model composition. I will be reading it bit by bit with you guys, and then we can highlight some of the nice, good vocab, good phrases, good structure. There's a lot going on, so we'll do it slowly. Hi everyone, welcome to the live. Hi Garrett. Hi Mariah. My name is Jia. I don't know whether I should call myself a teacher, but I think you can just call me Jia. Okay. So let's begin. So the day dawned bright and lovely. Sean's mother had been nagging incessantly at him for not helping with the household chores for the whole week. In the end, Sean had little choice but to sacrifice his Sunday morning cartoons and accompany her to the wet market to buy their weekly groceries. Okay, so first things first. First things first, we will look at this phrase, it's a bit thin. We'll look at the phrase, the day dawned bright and early. So while it might not be very clear, and very obvious, but this is actually a personification. Oh my god, why is it so thick? This is actually personification. So for those people that don't know, this is actually my first live, and also my first time using an iPad to write properly on a live. So please be nice. My handwriting is not actually really nice, but yeah, I hope you guys can read it. So the word dawn, which is commonly used as a noun, is used as a verb, as if the day has a choice in this case. Now, personification usually works in the sense that when you personify or make something that does not have a humane choice, you give them people-like qualities. That's called personification. In this case, we're giving the word dawn, which we were personifying the word dawn. I cannot spell. Okay, oops. How do I get this away? Okay. So we give Dawn human qualities, hence personifying it. And okay, so this is usually used as a noun, but then in this case it's used as the verb. So Sean's mother had been nagging at him for not helping. So this word means constantly. Recently we were writing up a new blog post and we're actually talking about the use of synonyms. So this word is actually a synonym of constantly, and one thing that actually boosts your language marks quite a bit. Is using words that are more complex, and it makes your teacher know that think that you know what you're doing. You know more complex words, you've read a lot, and that is usually very beneficial for your marks. So I would recommend looking at the new blog post and looking at the word list, or actually even just reading more, looking at the word list online. I think that is actually really, really helpful. I've also just highlighted this part in the end. So I wanted to highlight the importance of adding variations to your sentence structures when it comes to compositions. Teachers don't really enjoy, and in general, people when they read, they don't exactly enjoy something that is overly repetitive, including sentence structure. If you're going to start your sentence in the same way each time, it's not going to be very beneficial for your marks. Okay, so hi, welcome to the live. Hi, Hachi. I'm seeing a lot of people that I've never seen before when I was moderating the live. Okay, and next we're going to the next paragraph. I feel like there's also a lot of detail in the first paragraph, which is good, but also be careful not to add too much detail into your composition. If not, you end up too fixated on detail and not actually moving on into the storyline. So that is something that I did while I was back in school, and that did not help my marks. Is it compulsory to add dialogues in composition? I would say it's good to add one or two, but it's good to have variation. So yeah, so I would say don't add too much, but definitely will be good to add one or two. So okay, we're moving on to the second paragraph. There was a hustle and bustle at the market that was packed like sardines. Sean's mother was at Mr. Lowe's, her favorite vegetable store. He was also their neighbor, thus his mother was a regular customer at his stall. There was a wide variety of vegetables: cabbages, spinaches, kailan, lettuce, and chili. When Sean's mother was about to take out her purse to pay for her selection, she realized that it was gone. His mother became panicky and turned ashen-faced. Hello, welcome to the live. Okay, and so hustle and bustle is an alliteration. I don't know. This should be a very common phrase that teachers teach in school. So, which basically means repeating the beginning of a sentence. Is it clear? And yeah, so in this case, hustle and bustle is kind of like a rhyme, and it really helps with the tonation of sentences, which helps you to connect better with your readers and make your writing more engaging. Okay, and then we have packed like sardines. Hello, Luke. I cannot pronounce your last name. So packed like sardines is an idiomatic expression. Simply, it's an idiom. So it's good to remember a few to insert them where you can into your composition. It will help the teacher, like I said, believe that you read a lot, whether or not you actually do read a lot. It actually, yeah, it really helps with your language marks as well. Okay. And then we have this. It might not seem like a very special sentence, but I feel it's a detail. And the thing about details is that details can paint a clearer picture and help you connect with the audience reading your story. So, but like I said just now, do note that too many details that are unrelated to the progress of the story um, can take up your word count and take up your time. So you might end up not finishing your writing just because you spend too much time on details, because I definitely did that when I was in school. Thank you, Mariah Carey. Who are doing the responses? Teacher Misugo is actually doing the responses right now. We have swapped roles for today. Um, and I know Mariah Carey really likes Teacher Misugo's lessons. I always see her there. But yes, back to details. So over here, just as I'm talking about details, it's also very important to progress your storyline. See this part, when Sean's mother was about to take out her purse to pay for his election, she quickly realized it was gone. His mother became panicky and turned ashen-faced. There's a lot of details that can be inserted here, especially when it comes to her expression. You could make it really long, really make it like a split second thing, like a movie slow mo. The moment she takes it out and realizes it's gone, the shock and the initial shock and everything. But the thing is, these details do not progress the story. And sometimes it is better to keep something short and concise because that creates a better effect. So it's really all about what you're saying and when you're saying it. Can we use slangs like skibidi? If you don't mind failing or not doing well, I guess that's okay, but I would not encourage it. Hi, Shirlene. Hi. Okay, so details, definitely details, not too much, but add some. Okay. Yes, it's very Sigma, I know. Okay, so now when I also want to talk about the term ashen-faced. So I also want to go through a bit of vocab this time. So we'll have a little vocab quiz later so we can see. Quizzes are always good to help you retain stuff. I forgot what that rule was, but there was a study method that used a lot of recalling. Was it active recall? It really helps. So you guys can definitely check that out. But quiz, definitely do participate in the quiz. So this ashen face is a metaphor. It compares the mother's pale complexion. Oops, again. Why is this always happening?
Valerie,
yeah.
Can you change that color to something darker?
Column?
Color.
Oh, the color.
No need
okay.
to erase that, just for the succeeding
Alright.
ones.
Compares pale complexion. Okay. I realize that you guys cannot really see the color. And this emphasizes I hear teacher Misuko. Yes, she's there at the back. I am teacher Jia. I don't know whether I should call myself a teacher, but you guys can call me Jia. Yes, teacher Misuko spoke for the first time. Teacher Misuko has very hardcore fans here. Okay, so we will move to the next paragraph. At this instant, Mr. Lowe stuffed his hands and arms with vegetables and hurled them like a shot put at a lid. Sean spun his head around to see a burly man with sunglasses who was just right behind his hysterical mother, taking to his heels. Fortunately, all the vegetables landed on the man's head, and the impact was so great due to the tremendous amount of them. So we'll stop here first, and we'll go back and do some annotation. So, shot put at a lid. I think you guys knew that I was going to annotate this one. It is a simile. Does anyone happen to know what the difference between a simile and a metaphor is? How about Teacher Jamie's? Teacher Jamie's will do a live later. if Misuko live. Misuko and I are rotating at the moment, and she is doing moderation. Simile versus metaphor. I will come back to that later, and you guys can key in your answers, and we'll review it in a bit. Okay. Now we're talking about the term spun. I feel like it is also very important to rotate between the words you use, especially when you're gonna use very simple words consistently, like said, ran. Those words are helpful once or twice. They bring across the main meaning, but they do not add to your language marks. They do not make the teacher know that you can write. So I feel like it's definitely important to have a list of good vocab words. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it is always nice to have a couple to rotate around. Just try not to use the same word. If you're using it 5 times within your story, the same word, then that's way too much. That's way too much. Okay. Yh. Oh, hi, Yh. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correct. A simile uses like an S. That is true. That is true. Let's see if anyone has any other answers. Mariah Carey said a simile is like, but a metaphor is. I feel like you're saying exactly what I'm thinking, but I can't tell if I'm being right. I'm right now. But yes, a simile is something that uses more of a comparison, whereas a metaphor is something that assumes that it's like something. It's like saying her face was like an apple. You're comparing her face to an apple. But if you're using a metaphor, you're saying her face is an apple. You're just directly saying, oh, she is this thing because of how alike it is. So that is the difference. Great job to Yh and what's her name? Mariah Carey, who got it right. Good job. All right. We have, right, we'll go to the next page. The impact was so great due to the tremendous amount of them. And then we fell victim to the slippery floor. Does anyone know what this effect is? This writing technique, I mean. It is not very clear in this case, but think about who fell victim to the floor and who that person is. Who is that person who fell victim to the floor? Who is the person? So I'm going to give you guys a hint that it is someone who is doing something that he shouldn't be doing. Trying to run away for something but fell down during the process. The pickpocket, yes, it is. So what do we call a pickpocket? When a police apprehends him, as we see later on, what did they call a pickpocket? Does anyone know? I'll give the answer in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Yes. So actually, I would say it is using a little bit of irony. Because in this case, the pickpocket is actually the culprit. It's the culprit of the situation. It's the culprit of the situation. However, he is victim to the floor. And that's what is ironic about this. And I feel like irony is not something that's used that much in writing. It's definitely good to use if you know how to use it. So I would say it's a good addition to your skill set and your writing techniques. Definitely will show the teacher that you have read a lot and you know what to write. Okay. And then also I want to talk about the term subsequently. I don't really like the use of subsequently. Personally, I don't like the use of subsequently in this passage. Can anyone think of an alternative to this? Mr. Low and Sean gathered around him while his mother, who had regained her composure, called the police. Subsequently, the police arrived. Can anyone figure out why? I think maybe it's not such a good word for this case. Can anyone think of why? And can anyone think of another alternative for this? Hi, welcome to the live. Soon after. Itchy fingers say soon after. Does anyone have any other alternatives? I'll just annotate while I wait for everyone to. Suddenly. Okay. Any else? Any others? Any others? Okay. Later on. I would say all those can be used. Suddenly would be. Personally, I feel like suddenly might not be the best fit. It was a good shot, but I feel like it wouldn't be a good fit because it's taking a bit it's kind of like saying that it was unexpected. But for someone to have done something wrong and the police coming over, I feel like suddenly might not have been the best choice. But it's definitely, I feel it's a good try. Subsequently, the reason why I dislike subsequently is because I feel that subsequently is a bit too formal, and it also brings the idea of a slower sequence of events, which contrasts to the fast-paced nature of this paragraph. So you see, actually in this paragraph, it's a lot. There is detail, but it's a lot more on progression. The man groaned in pain and fell victim, and then immediately Mr. Low and Sean gathered around him. There's a lot of things going on in this paragraph, and suddenly you want to say that subsequently it goes over. It's a bit odd. It doesn't really make sense. If you were to say afterwards, like Mariah Carey say, that works. But honestly, the best one that I feel was Soon After by Itchy Fingers. I actually think that was really good because it says that soon after this entire event, it's still within the event, but soon after, the police arrived and apprehended the pickpocket. So I feel like it is also, it's good to have a lot of vocab in your under your sleeve, but definitely it is important to know which one to pick because different vocab they can be synonyms, they can have similar meanings, but there's always that slight difference that does make a difference when you choose it. Okay, next paragraph we have soon the market resumed its boisterous noise and activities as shoppers went around their usual Sunday morning marketing. Okay, so like in this case, what we're talking about, soon is a very well used word. See, it expresses that this transition. Transitional words are actually quite important, especially if you're someone who always struggles to start a new paragraph. I always struggled to start a new paragraph when I was back in school, and I feel like knowing the right transition words to use can either make or break your compo. It can either make your compo sound really weird, very monotonic, or it can make your compo sound very smooth. It's about choosing the right one. Cheerful over boisterous. I guess you could say market resumed its cheerful noise. I would say that was a good pick. You picked that up well. No, cheerful. Sorry. I think that could definitely work. So, does anyone know the meaning of boisterous? Does anyone know the meaning of boisterous? While we wait for that, boisterous is well used because this technique uses imagery. Wrong color. It repaints the previous picture of a busy wet market. It paints the picture of a busy wet market. I think it's always important to link back to your an image at the very beginning, or even if you don't link back, to kind of round up your story. So especially if it's a event like something big that has happened, like in this case, like someone a pickpocket, and you want to link back and say now it has returned to its original state. I feel like it's a good way to end your story on a more peaceful note if that's the way you're going for it. Otherwise, there are definitely other ways to round back your story to say that to give it a nice conclusion. But a conclusion is definitely important in a good composition. Energetic. Mariah Carey, that is correct. Itchy fingers, hustle and bustle. Around those lines, both are correct. And yeah, see, then let's, oh, kind of lost it. So let me take a look. All right, a shopper went about their usual, yeah, the word usual also gives it away. Gratitude towards Mr. Low. See, now you could definitely say his mother, Sean and his mother were thankful towards Mr. Low. That would definitely work as well. This is another example of good synonyms. Saying thank you expresses the point, but it doesn't show the teacher that you have a wide vocab range. You want to show your teacher that you know a lot of words, and that will definitely help your language marks, because that is one of the criteria. We're filled with appreciation works as well. Let me write it down. Appreciation works as well. There are a lot of it's thankful is it works as well. But if you want you want to work for those extra marks, you definitely would look for either appreciation or gratitude over here. The police commended Mr. Low for his quick thinking and actions. Both mother and son were relieved. So a lot of emotions in this paragraph. It's especially when writing your compositions, you want to also put in some fill in some emotions for the characters, so they make the characters seem more alive, and at the same time it also better connects to your audience. You might think that, oh, it's just my teacher marking my composition, but it's actually really important to make your story engaging still, because teachers, if you want the extra marks, you have to work for it, and teachers will always be happy to see a nice written composition that's actively engaging them or actually makes them feel connected to it. All right. Both mother and son were relieved. They had learned a valuable lesson to be more cautious and vigilant. So in this paragraph, you can actually see that there is 1, 2, 3 emotive language that is relevant to context. 1 being gratitude, 2 being relieved, and you can see valuable lesson. So these are all emotive languages, and like I mentioned before, this is actually really important to a good composition because it engages your teacher. It engages your teacher. Also, there is a small mistake in this paragraph. I want to see if anyone can notice it. There's a small mistake. A small mistake in this paragraph. My list has 785 words. Wow, that's a very long list. I didn't even have such a list when I was going for PSLE. Good job, Mariah Carey. Yeah, it's always good to have a good list, but do you remember all of them? I didn't remember that many words, that many synonyms or vocab when I was in school. Hi, Zoel. Am I pronouncing it correctly? All right. I'm guessing that no one has spotted the mistake yet, so I'm gonna mark it out in red and see if, and maybe, see, I'm zooming in. Maybe you guys will see it. I'm zooming in a bit. Maybe you guys will see. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey's getting a bit behind valuable. What behind valuable? What is it behind valuable? Let's see who sees it. Let's see who sees it. It's supposed to be a dash. Is it supposed to be a dash? Is it supposed to be a dash? Let's see if anyone says anything. I'm assuming you mean this. Hi, I'm Haitian. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Okay, there's no one else responding. So I'm just going to give you guys the answer. Yes, this is the issue. See, now when you're talking about, so firstly, Mariah Carey is correct. It should be a dash. It can be a dash or it can be a comma. So I know sometimes it's very tempting to use complicated sentence structure. I was definitely at fault with that as well. Usually, when I was writing my compositions in school, it is very tempting, especially when you get comments from the teacher saying use more complex sentence structure, or make or do something different to your composition. It's definitely tempting.
Oh my God!
However, always remember that it's better to be understood than have a very complicated sentence structure that is not understood by anyone. Having your composition not understood is never a good way to go. See, this is a very complicated punctuation, and if used correctly, it will definitely make the teacher feel that you know what you're doing. But sometimes it's just easier to go with a comma, and there's nothing wrong with going with a comma. Okay. Now, what is wrong with this is that this punctuation is used to connect two sentences that is relevant to each other. But see, if you were to look at this sentence, they learned a valuable lesson to be more vigilant in crowded places. Can we actually separate these two sentences? This is a punctuation that connects two relevant sentences. But in the first place, can we separate these two sentences? They had learned a valuable lesson. That's fair. That is one sentence. To be more cautious and vigilant in crowded places. Is there a subject in the second sentence? Is it a second sentence? In the first place, it's not a second sentence. And that is one of the issues here in this case. Because it's not a second sentence, you cannot use a semicolon. Alright. I'm hoping all of you have taken down notes. Hello, oh my. Because we will now be moving into the power words section. So you guys can take a look and we will see how many words you guys have remembered. I cannot tell what you're writing, Mariah Carey. Is everything okay?
Oh my God!
Okay, let's move on to the second section. Hello, Charlene, you're back. Oh, I cannot give you guys answers. Okay. Apparently, it cannot hide this. Wait. Nobody see the answers? Nobody see the answers? Let's see if we can hide it. Okay, let's go. Okay, now nobody knows the answers. Nobody knows the answers. Hi, Charlene. Okay, now nobody knows the answers. Nobody can see the answers now. Now we all have to guess the answers. Alright. The day dawned bright and lovely. What does that mean? What is it in a simple sentence? I want to see how many people know. Number one. What is number one? Mariah Carey, you've been answering all the questions so far. Do you know this one? Is Mariah Carey here? Shirley, maybe you know the answer. Hello, Zeke. Does anyone know the answer for this? For number 3, we have sacrifice. Number 4, hustle and bustle. Begin in a cheery and pleasant way. Let's take a look. Oops, 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 oops. So apparently there is no way to hide half my answers. You guys have seen it all, but we'll go about it and pretend you guys haven't. Okay. The beginning of a beautiful day. Yes, it is. You are correct. You are correct. Now we have the second word. Nagging incessantly. What does that mean? What does that mean in simple words? In simple words. I think nagging is a bit of a giveaway. What does it mean? What are the related emotions when your mother nags at you? When she says, "Oh, I don't know. Oh, come to the market with me," like in this sentence. Hello, VA Academy. I'm gonna highlight the words that people should answer, and then you guys can see if you guys know the answers. I will review the answers at the very end and write down the meanings so you guys can take a screenshot. Is anyone repeatedly criticizing someone? I wouldn't say that there is like it doesn't connote the idea of criticism, but it definitely has a bit of a negative connotation. When I say connotation, I mean it does mean something negative. It does it is usually used to express something more negative. And actually, you've got the first part correct. When you say repeatedly, it is without. Oh, that is thick. That is without interruption or constantly. So Mariah Carey is correct again. Mariah Carey, I think you're fine for a PSLE. I think you're fine. Okay. Now I know the rest of the words are gonna pop out when I erase it, but that's the best we can do. Let's see, it does it again. Alright. But yes, we have hustle and bustle at the market. No, I'm not. You will be fine. You can always join Writers at Work with our classes, and we will make sure you're fine. You'll be fine. Trust. Because once you're in secondary school, primary school will feel really easy. Hustle and bustle at the market. I think we already went through this just now. I think it was Mariah Carey as well who gave the answer. I think it was. There's hustle and bustle at the market. Does anyone remember what writing technique this was? Like energetic. Energetic. I think that's pretty similar to the answer. A lot of activity at the market. It does have that connotation. It does have very joyful meaning. So I would say that that's partially correct. A lot of activity. It's very bustling. It is very, I wouldn't say chaotic. A lot going on. Okay. And then we have packed like sardines. We spoke about this just now. It is a simile. It's a simile. And then finally we have thus, a regular customer, wide variety, panicky. I think the rest are pretty simple. Very, very crowded. Yes. This is actually quite a frequently used phrase. So, and there's nothing wrong with using a frequently used phrase. Just don't use it more than once within a sentence. Especially with idioms, don't use them more than one. Don't use them more than one in a composition. There is a lot of good idioms online with similar meanings. You can always interchange them, but do not use it one specific one more than once within a compo. Okay, then we have thus. I think the meaning is it's a pretty big giveaway, so I will just give it to you guys. As a result, yes, good job. It is more of that is the meaning. It's kind of like as a result. Wait, let me just. It is like as a result. So hence because. So these are all more words that talk about reason, that B happens because of A, or this happens because of that. It's more of a reason, a term used to describe reason. And then we have, ooh, okay, I'll just show you guys the answers. It's taking a lot of time to highlight them, cancel them away. A regular customer. So yeah, a regular customer, and then we have wide variety, which means a lot of choices. Now, the thing about this word panicky is that I personally, back when I was in school, I remember getting very confused by this word because I often only use the word panic and not the term panicky. But there is actually a difference. This is used to describe something. And this is more of the state, not state. This is more of a verb. Someone is panicking, whereas panicky is more of, yeah, you're describing that someone is feeling anxious and worried. It's different. So do not mix those up because your teacher will mark you wrong. And then at this instant, it's the same meaning of at that moment. So if you have a situation where you have to write at the moment twice within a composition, maybe you can use at this instant once. Panicking is anxious or fearful, while panic is very sudden. I would say panicky is, it's just different word forms. It's different word forms. So, but you are right. It is both about being anxious, fearful, and it can be as a result of something sudden. So that is correct in that sense. How about like a shot put athlete? The thing about idioms is that sometimes they might be an exaggeration or they might not exactly make sense. We will look through those later when we're going through the vocab questions, and then what I'm saying right now will make a bit more sense to you guys. Like a sportsman. So this is a simile because there's the word like. I think it was Mariah Carey or was it Shirley who said that? Because there's the word like. But then if you were to make it a metaphor, you would say that the culprit was a shot put athlete. I wouldn't recommend this sentence though because it doesn't really doesn't really make much sense because you're already saying that he's a culprit. But I'm just describing that a metaphor is without like. So I'll erase this just in case anyone gets confused. But yeah, at least you guys know the difference of a simile and a metaphor now. So let me just. It is different. A burly man means a heavily built man, and hysterical is going out of control. So when you're saying that someone is going mad, or so like some synonyms for you guys means mad or almost going crazy, or the dictionary definition is affected by wildly uncontrolled emotion. All right. So you guys can take a screenshot of this page first. I give you guys 5 seconds. Oh. I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Teacher Jia, can I brief? Please do. Please do. Now is the time to take a screenshot. Yep, please do take a screenshot. I will be going on to the next page right now. Hello, Edward. Hello, kind of Missy. Please join the live. All right, let's move on. Right as I have no storage space, but I'm risking it. Definitely. Trust me, you can delete everything after you finish your exams, but before your exams, keep everything in your storage. It's definitely worth it to have it in your phone so you can refer to it when you're on the bus. Okay, taking to his heels is running away in a bid to escape. This is an idiom, but please be careful to use it right, because if you don't use it right, you can risk sounding really, really weird in your composition. Trust me, I would know. And then we have impact, which means force, but definitely you can describe it as forceful impact, or further, you can have more descriptions, negative impact, tremendous. It's a very long word. It means extreme. And then we have groaned in pain. Make a sound when in pain. Now, when you're talking about sounds, these words are adverbs. It is also very good to have a good storage of them because they can make your writing a lot more specific. Like when you're saying he is running away from something. Yes, we understand that he's running away for something, moving at a very fast pace away from something. But now if you were to use he was sprinting away from something, you have a lot a more vivid image in your mind, and that is definitely good in your compo, because when you give your examiner a vivid image, you paint them a vivid picture in your composition, they will also paint you good marks. Okay, fell victim to the slippery floor. I talked about this just now. I actually really, really like this. This is actually one of my favorite phrases in this entire piece, because it uses a bit of irony. For those who actually, those who read the composition with me, it was ironic because they wrote this was directed at the culprit, so it's ironic. It's ironic, and it also relays the sentence that someone fell down because of a slippery surface. And then, hello, Ming. Hello, Edward. Edward, you've been to this live twice. Please join and say hi. Please say hi. See, loud thud. It's always good to use thud instead of loud sound. Now, see, if I were marking a compo and I saw someone write loud sound and loud thud, which one would I prefer? I would definitely prefer loud thud over loud sound. It is all about being specific, all about using words that have a specific meaning. It's all about that. Regain her composure, being calm again. You could also say it in a different way. You could also rephrase it and say that she composed herself. It's all about word form as well. There's so many different ways to express yourself with good vocab. Subsequently, thereafter. So these two are synonyms as well, but like I mentioned, it is also very important to choose the right synonyms. It's good to have a huge set of synonyms under your with you, but make sure to choose the right ones, and do not use the ones that you're not sure of, because sometimes they can make your compo sound weird or makes you less understandable, and that is definitely not good. Hi Gigi bro, you have a very funny username. Apprehended, being caught. So this is just another example, because if I were to say that police caught the robber versus the police apprehended the robber, the second one clearly sounds more sophisticated, and a big part of the teacher being able to give you those marks is when the teacher knows that you deserve those marks because you know what you're doing. So sophistication is definitely a good way to go, but also do be careful with the words you choose. Resumed as boisterous noise. We went through this before. Gratitude is feeling thankful. You can say he showed his thankfulness, or you can show his gratitude. Which one sounds better? And then finally, you have commended, which is praised. Again, synonym. It's always good to have these under your sleeve. Hi, Shavin. Quick thinking. Witty. Hi, Mayong. All fun ones. Writers at work, enrichment notes. We do have great sets of notes. And our teachers are always happy to give them out to you. Content all intact. Vigilant. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, Mariah Carey, you can take a screenshot. I know Mariah Carey likes to take screenshots. If not her story, it wouldn't happen full. But everyone, you guys can take a screenshot of this, and then we can move on. Most of the things here are more repetitive, and that's why we took quite a bit of time explaining it, but better to be safe than sorry. Okay, after this screenshot, it is time to test you guys with the quiz. And then you guys, we can do a bit of filling in the blanks with the vocab, a bit of MCQ, and then yeah, it's always good to make sure that you know things by doing assessment books or quizzes. It might be a bit demoralizing to get answers wrong sometimes, but it is definitely good to have good practice. I got 40 out of 50 in P4 end of year exam. That's good. That's good. It's too small. Wait, I can zoom. We can zoom in. Definitely. Is this good enough? Is this big enough for you?
Right. You have half that. This.
Right. Yeah, it is kind of.
Yeah, in my phone it's quite
Yeah,
small.
it is really small.
Show the first half first.
Yeah, we'll do half-half. We'll do half-half. Okay. Okay, so this is the first half. This is the first half. I'll count 5 seconds for each one, just so we don't spend too much time on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then let's move on to the next one. Highway. Oh, it's not moving. Okay. Second half. Hello, Lewis, yo. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Hello, W. Shen. I only got AL4 for English last year. That's okay. Is AL4 good? Is AL4 good? We have to ask teacher Misuko about that. I'm not quite sure about the grading system. Is AL4 good?
AL4 is good, but you can go higher, Mariah.
Join us with our lessons. Join us with our lessons. We'll try our best to help you out. Okay. Okay, not this one. It was this one. Yeah, there we go. Oops. Okay. We have the MCQ first. With the MCQ first. Okay. These are all words that we have been talking about just now. So it's all about quizzing yourself right now. Let's see how well you guys remember it. Is it just clear enough? It is. Okay. Sean's mother had been blank at him for not helping with the household chores for the whole week. Tree. Mariah Carey says tree. Alright. Tree. Okay. Hello, Bentio. Bentio, do you have an answer? Nagging incessantly. Okay. Yolanda also says tree. Hi, Yolanda. I've not seen you here before. Okay, so you guys are saying 3. Okay, let's break this down. Now, she cannot be lagging. Lagging means to make progress slowly. And then, what does egging mean? Does anyone know what egging means? Okay, give you guys a hint. You often use egging in, you can use egging in a bullying situation. Yes, it does mean similar to encourage. Okay. Now, egging, yes, it is like encouraging and nudging, but it is to encourage. Oh, it's to encourage someone to do something risky. Oh, let's do something risky. It's to do something risky or foolish. Yes, Mariah Carey, that is correct. Good job. And nagging, we know what nagging means. We know what nagging means. And then we have tugging persistently, which means it's quite a common word to pull something hard. So, if we're to look at this, does it make sense to say Sean's mother has been nagging him critically? I don't know. Does it make sense? I don't think it makes sense. So we'll say it doesn't make sense because how can she be slowing his progress down? It does not make sense. It does not fit the context of the composition. Has been egging at him for not helping the household chores for the whole week. The term egging alone does not make sense in this context, so nope. He has been nagging incessantly at him. Is it correct? Everyone's saying it's correct. And that's what's been written in the compo. Yes, it is possible for her to have been constantly harassing someone to do something. So that is correct. Number 3 is correct because it is the one that fits the context the most. Good job, Mariah Carey. Good job, Yolanda. Good job. Okay. For the second question we have, in the end, Sean has little choice but to something, his Sunday morning cartoons, and accompany her to the wet market. Divide 1. Okay. Hello, Gee? Is that Gee? Okay, Mariah Carey is very, very certain that it's 1. And yes, the answer is sacrificed. And now I'm going to break down why. Alright, sacrifice. Satisfy means meet expectations. Okay, let's write it down. Meets expectations. And meet expectations or desires of someone. And then we have the term surrender, which means to stop resisting. But the thing is, to stop resisting and give something to someone. But in the end, does Sean give his TV time to his mother? Is TV time something that he can give her? That is not something that he can give her. So that this is definitely not the answer. Has no choice but to satisfy his Sunday morning. Is he satisfied with accompanying her to wet market? The term little choice shows that he is not satisfied. There is resistance, and satisfied does not reflect that bit of resistance. So that is not the answer. Suffice means meet the needs of. Definitely from this we can tell that suffice, Sean's week and is not made even better by accompanying the mother to the wet market because he had little choice. He's not happy about it. So that is definitely not the answer. And that's why Mariah Carey is correct when she says it's sacrifice, because sacrifice means to give up something valued give up something valued for other considerations. Next one is one. Mariah Carey is. You must do a lot of papers. You must do a lot of papers. There was a what and what at the market that was packed like sardines. Okay, I need to turn on. Alright. Sorry about that. There was a what and what at the market. Mariah Carey says 1. Writers at Work says number 3. What does nuzzle and muzzle mean? What does nuzzle and muzzle mean? I personally.
I meant the number, the question
Oh,
number.
oh, number 3. Oh, I thought teacher Miss Suko meant that it was number 3, and I was so confused. She meant the question number. Oh, that scared me for a second. I was like, there was a nuzzle and muzzle at the market. That scared me for a second. No. Nuzzle and muzzle, there's no such saying, but nuzzle muzzle does mean to touch and rub something on the nose, so that really does not fit the context. Okay, does not fit. So the thing about this vocab MCQ section is that it really demands you have to know what you're being tested on. And for vocab, they usually test you on how well you understand the individual words, or maybe like the nitty-gritty meanings of these individual words. They can sound similar, and it is possible for them to test you on synonyms, but there's always going to be a bit of difference between the words, and you have to look at these words in reference to the context. If it doesn't fit the context, if the grammar is wrong, it is not your answer. It is not your answer. All right, hustle and bustle. We've talked about this just now. Hustle and bustle means a lot of activity. Hello, Noor. So where it is noisy. Fuzzy muzzy. I don't know what that means, but maybe if you know what that means, you can tell me. Jingle jangle. It is a repeated sound that is metallic. This does not fit context as well, so the answer will definitely be number 1. Like Mariah Carey. Good job, Mariah Carey. Okay. He was also their neighbor. Thus his mother was and what at his store. When I was doing this question, I got a bit stuck as well. Mariah Carey, you say it's 2, but why can't it be 4? Mariah Carey, why can't it be 4? Mariah Carey, why can't it be 4? Now 1 and 3, we know it's clearly not 1 and 3, because you see, he was also a royal client at his store. Nowhere in this composition did they say that a mom was royalty, so it's definitely not this. It was a customary practice. Customary practice is a very, very, very formal word. Which means long established, low taper fade. What does that mean? Hello, the Av Greek. I do not understand what you're saying.
It shows here that it's a type of haircut.
A type of haircut. Teacher Mitsuko is searching it up, and she is as confused as I am. So we are both confused now. Okay, it means long. Customary practice means long established tradition, which clearly does not fit that. Mariah Carey, do you know why it is not number 4? You said it's number 2, and that is correct. That is correct. But do you know why it's not number 4?
Huh?
Okay, I'll go through it. See, the thing is, when it comes to vocab, because it is a usual phrase, that is true. That is true. That is the answer. So the thing is, there are some phrases that just have to be remembered. There are some things that you just do not say in a certain context, and there are some words that just fits. So when someone frequents a store, you phrase it that they are a regular buyer because they come by regularly. And where you can say that it is a usual store for the customer, you don't say that the customer is a usual buyer. So there is, you can say usual store that the person goes to. This is the usual store I frequent. Or you could say regular customer, but you do not say usual buyer. That does not make sense. So the answer is number 2. Oh, I did not see it. Thank you so much for the gift. Thank you. All right, we have number 5. Sean's mother turned pale and became anxious. That was very accurate sound effects. All right, number one. Sean's mother became jumpy and peeled out. Went jumpy, sorry. Firstly, number 1 definitely won't work. Why? Because you also have to look at the grammar. In the grammar, how well does the English flow in your sentences? This is incorrect English. The word went is usually followed by an adjective that describes a state or transformation. You can say something, someone went silent, or something went missing. But you don't say something went jumpy. That's not, so it's wrong. And then Sean's mother's face became panicky and turned ashen face. Now we know what panicky means. She was really stressed out and turned ashen face. We're talking about a pale complexion. Pale complexion. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Hello, Bubblegum. Welcome to the live. And then for number 3, we have Sean's mother became fearful and color flooded her face. Now, does that make sense? We also have to understand that there are certain descriptions that are most commonly used. When we talk about someone becoming fearful, we don't usually say that color floods your face. We can say that color left your face, but we don't say color flooded your face. Someone does not become red in the face because they are fearful. Someone becomes pale when they are fearful. And that is something that's quite important to remember. You can't just describe things however you would like to. There are some, I wouldn't say rules, but there are some understanding that there has to be there. Mariah Carey is saying it's 2. Is it 2? And Sean's mother was demoralized and went pallid. What does pallid mean? Pallid describes, Hi Alibaba, describes a person's face. And it is typically to poor health. So number 1, this does not fit the context because Sean's mother is not pale because she has poor health. That's not the case. She's pale because she's anxious. Now this is context. Context is very important. And because of this, the single word, we know that this option is not correct. And since number 3, number 1, and number 4 is not correct, then Mariah Carey is correct. It's number 2. Good job. I said 2. Hi, sorry, Mariah Carey. All right. Good job. So then we have number 6. Hello, Shida. Hello, gals. Welcome to the live. Do join us. So I don't sit here doing questions alone. I graduated many years ago. At this instance, tree. Okay, Mariah Carey is saying tree. Okay, I see it, tree. At this instant, Mr. Lowe stuffed his hands and arms with vegetables and something like a shot-put athlete. Now, we can break down the words one by one. Hi, Yolanda, do you know what the answer is? So number 1 means lift or haul. Now, one thing about these vocab questions is a very good way to practice is that you have 4 options for each question. If you have a dictionary beside you and you search up the questions, you search up the options, you get more and more vocab in your head. It might not be the answer this time, but it could very well be the answer the next time. So it's a very good way to practice and gain more knowledge when it comes to vocab. So definitely do work on your vocab questions. Don't just think vocab questions is part of your main paper and it has nothing to do with compo. It has everything to do with your composition. The more vocab words you use, the more you can contextualize them and make them a good composition. So heaved means lift or haul and means something heavy. I'm deciding between haul and lunge. I am too. Hurled and lunge. Oh, I did not see that. Okay. And then lunged means I'll give Yolanda, I'll give you the meanings and then you can make your decision. Okay. Lunge means set in motion by pushing. You say launched a new iPhone model, you launched a boat. Those words. Hurled means throw with great force. And splurted means gush out in a sudden, forceful stream. Okay, now this is nothing to do with liquid that or anything that gushes out. So it's definitely not number 4. Okay. Now heaved. And heave them. Is Mr. Low lifting up anything? He's not. He stuffed it in his hands. It's already in his hands. He doesn't have to lift up anything, so it's not number 1. Can it be lunged? Did he push it? I don't think the vegetables would stay in his hand if he were to push it. So definitely could not be number 2. So Mariah Carey is right again. Mariah Carey is right again. It is hurled down like a shot put out. Like he is throwing something with great force. Mariah Carey, you must do really well in your vocab paper. Shot is pushed rather than thrown. Shot, nice. Is it though? Is it though? Because okay, imagine when it comes to, let's say we are shooting something in front. There is, I guess there is the motion of being pushed within the gun, but the main action of shooting something is it being propelled forward. So through the air is more of being thrown. Shot put is a sport. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Would I like to try the spot though? No, I'm not a very spotty person at all. Miss Misuko, are you a spotty person?
No.
No. There's a we try. Okay, Mariah Carey says the second is 2. Is 2. Okay, we'll write down Mariah Carey's answers and we'll see. Yolanda, what do you think the answer is? Okay, you see, Sean turned around to see a blank man with sunglasses. Blurry. We know what blurry means, so if this is the answer, Sean probably needs glasses. But that is not the main point of the sentence, so it cannot be the answer. Hello, freaking delicious. What an interesting name you have. Hello, Maxie. Freaking delicious. You're making me think of a nice dinner right now. I want a nice dinner. Then we have number 3, bleary. Oh, we're number 2. I did not go to. Blurry means a person that is large. Oh, person. So sometimes words also have this in the dictionary. When you search up for certain words, they tell you what this thing usually describes. It can be a person or it can be an inanimate object. Sometimes the dictionary will specify, and it's really, really important for you to note these things down, because if you were to use it on something else other than what's specified, it might not have the meaning that you think it does, or it just might not be correct at all. Okay, so it means large. Large and of heavy build. When you say someone's of heavy build, you mean they're really big, they're very large. Okay, and then you have beery, which means, let's see, feeling dull. Any tips for improving my subjects? Mostly science. I was not a science student at all, so I cannot help you with that. But I would think that for a lot of different subjects, practice is always the key. So it would help. That would. Hi, Lisa. Hi. Hi. Please stay for the live. Please stay for the live. See if there's anything we can help you with. You ask us some questions. We'll see what we can help you with. We'll definitely try our best. But if it's science or other subjects, then I did not do really well with science, so I can't really help you no matter how much I want to. Okay, feeling bleary is feeling dull, from sleep or lack of sleep. So there's nothing to do with that. Sean never says anything about Sean's sleep schedule. Maybe he slept at 12. Who knows? It's nothing to do with that. And then we have bleakly. Bleakly means charmless and inhospitable, dull. So it has nothing really to do with that, because over here, we're talking about a man with sunglasses, says nothing about him being charmless or him being down. So it makes more sense for the answer to be number 2. So Mariah Carey is correct again. Okay, primary 5, I think Chir Masuko. Right behind number 8, right behind his hysterical mother. So, see, for me, when I was back in school, what confused me the most would be sentences or phrases that were really similar. Because when they're really similar, it gets very easy to mix them up. So it's very important to read them very carefully and think about context. It's always context. Okay. Memorize the answering techniques, like the format to answer question to score, because most is just copy and pasting with different contexts. With English, there are answering techniques, but with vocab, I would say a huge part of that is to really understand how words are usually structured. We're talking about prefix and suffix; they have different meanings. I would recommend reading a lot, good tuition, a lot of practice, and have a dictionary beside you when you're doing vocab, because like I said just now, what might not be the answer this time might be the answer the next time. So you always want to know the meanings of the words that you're looking at. Right behind his hysterical mother. So digging his heels means to stubbornly refuse. Not writing this correctly. Refuse, especially when someone is trying to persuade. Okay, we have around 5 more minutes. Do we have 5 more minutes? We have 5 more minutes. Let's try to finish this as soon as possible. So this is when someone is trying to persuade. And then now kicking his heels. You sound like teacher Misugo. Me?
I hope you mean that in a good way.
Okay, so kicking his heels means to be forced to wait. And now hot on his heels, let me write it here. We don't have space anymore. Means following closely. So the thing about idioms is that they usually paint a picture as well. So it's very important to try to imagine a picture, and it does help. And taking to his heels is to run away quickly. I cannot write this properly. So right behind his hysterical mother. See, when you say taking to his heels, you can imagine someone lifting up their heels. So when someone is lifting up their heels, you can imagine them running away. So that is the meaning of it. Hot on his heels, you can imagine someone staying very close to each other, so you can tell that it's following close. It's either 1, 2, or 3. I wish we could have 3 answers. That would make things a lot easier. Trust. It's the same for all subjects. Right behind his hysterical mother. You're saying that it's 2. And yes, 2 is the answer because they cannot, it has nothing to do with refusing, especially when someone's trying to persuade. No one is trying to persuade in the sentence, so it cannot be number 1. Cannot be hot on his heels because you already mentioned it. He's right behind. Why would you mention it twice? And he's not trying to run away. He's following right behind his hysterical mother. So it's not that. So it has to be number 2. Okay, number 9. Let's go quickly. Replace the sentence. The man fell down in pain. The man fell down with pain. In pain, sorry. Now let's look at number 1. Do we see anything grammatically wrong in the sentence? The man groaned in pain and fell victim to the slippery floor of a tub. At least nothing wrong so far. Well, let's just leave it as it is, okay? Screaming painfully as the man slipped on the floor. Does this sentence sound right? Who was screaming painfully as the man slipped on the floor? There's no subject. Who is screaming painfully? We don't know. The sentence is wrong.
Oh my God!
The sentence is wrong. So that definitely cannot be the answer. Whining in pain, the man turned turtle on the floor. Turn turtle means to capsize. That is a very odd picture. But so it's a very odd picture. So we have to see which one fits best. The man cried in pain as he went toppling down. That is also a very odd picture. But think about it this way. The man cried in pain. The man cried in pain as he went toppling down. There's an error in the sentence because you don't say he went toppling down. He toppled down. Again, an error in the sentence means that this cannot be the answer. So we are left with number 1. We're left with number 1. We're left with number 1. Remember, a sentence that is phrased wrongly, a sentence that is grammatically wrong, cannot be your answer. And they could be testing you on that. So be really careful. I know it's very easy to skim through your work when you're looking at exam papers, but please be careful. So the market resumed. It's something as shoppers went about their usual Sunday morning marketing. What's with all the emojis, Mariah Carey? Hi, Yolanda. Okay, Yolanda says it's number 2. Soon the market resumed is as shoppers went about their usual Sunday morning marketing. We have boosting noise and actions, boisterous noise and activities, lively sounding conduct, unruly clutter, and manners. Firstly, one thing that stands out to me when I'm looking at this question is that manners is not used correctly. It should be manner. So if this is wrong, it cannot be the answer. You don't say unruly clutter and manners. You say unruly clutter and manner. Manner as in etiquette, behavior. Lively sound and conduct. Conduct is a very formal word for behavior. Does it fit this context? When it's too formal, are you sure it fits the context? Boisterous noise and activities. It is a picture. Conduct is a form of behavior. It is a form of behavior. It is a synonym, but you also have to think that conduct is a very formal word. Like when you're in an office, when you're in school, what is written in the handbook? Do they say behavior or conduct? They're more likely to use the word conduct because of how formal it is. Conduct does not really fit into this sentence, and that's why it might not be the answer. But conduct does mean behavior. Mariah Carey, you are correct with that. Boisterous noise and activities, we know that means something that is very chaotic, very energetic. And we also have number 1, which is boosting noise and actions. What is boosting noise and action? That does not make sense in the context. Does not make sense. So it's automatically wrong. So the answer is 2, because we're only left with 2. Mariah Carey saying no, no, no. Why is no, no, no? What is going on? Why no, no, no? Why is no, no, no? Mariah Carey.
Oh my God.
Mariah Carey, why no, no, no? Why no, no, no? Alright, so we have finished the quiz. This was the quiz. And I'm proud to say that I've seen a lot of you get so many correct. I've not seen any like specifically wrong. Can I clarify? Shot put. I looked it up. The heavy ball is pushed and not thrown. Okay, let's go back to the question.
Wait, it should be thrown. Okay, so what's the question?
It should be thrown. Let's see. Shot put. Yeah, yep. Where was the question? Where was the question?
There was a question.
I remember it. Oh, there we go. This instance stuffed his hands with vegetables. So, Yolanda, you're saying that the answer is what's the answer? You're saying that it's lunch.
The heavy ball is pushed and not thrown. In shot put, the ball is actually thrown.
In shot put, the ball is thrown. The ball is not thrown but pushed into motion. Now, thing that you have to understand is that when it comes to idioms, it's much less than literal meaning but more of a description, or like a simile in this case. He is a shot put athlete. He's a shot put athlete means that it doesn't not mean that he is necessarily throwing like a shot put athlete, but much less he has the demure of a shot put athlete. He is athlete like it. You can't throw it or it will cause an injury. No, but here's the thing that you have to understand is that these are very specific things, knowledge that you would not know about a shot put athlete. They would not test you on that. So it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. And then when you say and launch them like a shot put athlete, launching is much less directional. It is more I'm launching something somewhere. But then Mr. Low stuffed his hands with vegetables and hurled them. When you're talking about hurl, you're talking much more about forward with great force. And it's the emphasis on great force. It's emphasis on great force. It's emphasis on great force. Alright, so this is about it for our live. I think Teacher Jamie's is gonna go live soon, so you guys can definitely go over to watch. Yeah, so we'll be ending this live for today. Thank you guys all for joining. It's been wonderful meeting you guys during my first live, and I hope to see you guys again. So yeah, I hope you guys stay for the next live, and see you guys next time. Bye. Oh my god. The moment she asked why, it was that I was like, oh my lord.
Good job on your first live.
Thank you.
1K viewers. Wow. Okay, let's see.
1K viewers, including our 20 phones. Including our 20 phones.
Of course.
Always including our 20 phones.
Yes.
Should I